Now, you've been quite outspoken. You're a member of Hong Kong's Legislative Council, and you've drawn the ire both of Beijing and of the chief executive of Hong Kong on more than one occasion. One headline I could cite were your efforts to block the passage of certain laws, including a bill that would criminalize disrespecting the Chinese national anthem, led to an all-out brawl on the legislative floor. Explain to our viewers how that happened. What happened?
Let me be clear. I was simply presiding over a meeting of the House Committee, which is one of the most important committees in the Legislative Council. And I was holding the meeting strictly in accordance with the rules of procedure of the Legislative Council. But Beijing accused me of filibustering. They accused me of misconduct in public office and also have breached my oath when I took office. All these allegations came to a naught. Ultimately, they resolved it by taking away my power to continue to preside over the meetings as chairman. And when we are going through COVID-19, when we have gone through a whole year of political unrest, and facing a possible economic recession, I would have thought that the Hong Kong government should focus on things like how to get the economy going, or how to reduce unemployment, or how to help Hong Kong generate more businesses, etc. But instead of focusing on those important issues, the first thing they want to do is to pass a national anthem law, criminalizing people who show disrespect to the national anthem. Clearly, the agenda is now being set by Beijing, and the Hong Kong government puts Beijing agenda ahead of everything else, and this is what's happening.
Do you talk with any of these guys socially? The pro-Beijing legislators, you're obviously there in the same group.
Not so much these days, I'm afraid. We used to have a better communication, but unfortunately, because of the events of the past 12 months, I don't think there is a constructive dialogue going on within the Legislative Council.
So there are no legislators you talk to on the pro-mainland side?
I wouldn't go as far as that, but there are obviously people I've known for years. But it is what I find is that even though privately they might agree with the unreasonable move by Beijing and by the Hong Kong government, outwardly they are afraid to take that position because of they are afraid of redress from the People's Republic of China.
I'm asking just because, it's always good in these environments to get some back channel. And again, as you say, you are dealing with coronavirus, in fact, quite successfully in the context of the rest of the world. What do they say to you about what the agenda is?
The agenda is to follow Beijing's instruction to pass these laws so that they feel they could assert their will on the Hong Kong people. And the ironic thing is, you mentioned COVID-19. In fact, Hong Kong has handled COVID-19 relatively well, as you said, but also as the community, we were breaking off from some of the worst protests that we saw last year. That some of the protests were cooling off, and people were staying home because of COVID-19. And you will remember last year, what started the protest was when they tried to pass that extradition bill, which would allow Hong Kong citizens to be sent to China for trial. And that was what started it. And instead of learning from that lesson, they are doing exactly the same thing, but this time even more draconian, which is to pass the national security law in Beijing and impose it on Hong Kong.